Thanks for coming. We are the aforementioned Professional Topics. We're a group. We meet. We meet outside of class. We've done this pretty much all on our own. Like I said, meeting outside of class, and it's our third year as nucleus training. We've worked really hard in taking this from something that was very small to being something that turned into a large thing. Like you said, everyone looks forward to it. We pack our Warner Hall over at OU, and it's just a blast every year. I mean, we're here to show you a little bit about, what we do, and, how you can use it and why it's an important thing. Very quickly, we wanted to make a mention about how we're dressed, because we know that some people give us some looks and we're all kind of like slightly disheveled looking, but besides the fact that, I guess in some way we're stereotypical percussionists and we're goofy like that, we also, the way I always think of it is, in the early days of, jazz and jazz strength in New York, you had guys who would go and play the jazz gigs all day long, and they'd have to meet after hours at clubs to play the stuff they wanted to do. And a lot of that is what we do. We go all day and we play, and we love it, and you all know what it's like to be in music school, you get there at 7 in the morning, and you're there from 10 at night. And then we decided that we're going to stay there from 10 at night till 2 a.m., rehearsing. And, it's a labor of love, and that's, somewhat an homage to that. So, a little bit of history about what we do. It started as an assignment, actually, from our regular percussion ensemble class, where we were asked to arrange or write something for percussion ensemble. And most of us arranged, a couple of us wrote, and we ended up going through playing everybody's piece, and we really liked this one, and it really stuck out to us. And so we were allowed to play it on the concert. Dan Messmaker, the head of our ensemble, is very open to that. We can bring in pieces all the time to do things like that, and he let us play the song on the concert. And after the concert, everyone was coming up to us and, wow, how'd you guys do that? That was amazing. Like, we heard it was, most people's favorite piece, and it was just a ton of fun to do. And it really opened the world to being like, hey, we can make this work. We can do this. And like I said, from there it's gone to being a reproduction. So the reason we did that song we did anyone know that song? 46 and 2 by Tool? Yeah. We did that because that was the first one. It was that song that we did. From there I suppose we talked about, how we went about doing some of these things. I mean, I'm sure many of you have tried arranging. If not, there's many ways to start. At that time, I was a freshman and didn't have very good oral skills, so I went out and I bought the sheet music, and I'm like, okay, where's this going to sound right, and moving stuff around. I kind of figured out a fair amount of it, but there's no way I was doing the vocal line by myself, kind of thing. And there I went out and bought the music. You can also get Guitar Tab online if you're talking about doing pop songs. There's endless tab sites. You've all seen the way that PDF files and music are getting traded around now. So there's plenty of ways, tons of resources out there to just give that head start, and again, that helps develop the oral skills, because there are plenty of those that have errors in them, and you get them and you're either typing in your notation software and man, that doesn't look right, or your performance. There are plenty of those where we were in performance and this note isn't right, which note is it? And going back and changing things. So, from that, as far as translating to the percussion ensemble, we have a very there's kind of like a standard way that we arrange things, and there's our kind of techniques and other things we do. The bass guitar, or just whatever your bass line is, works really well on the bass end of the marimba. Treble marimba is really just kind of clean guitar stuff. Xylo, distorted guitar, vibes, keys, or vocals, anything that needs to be sustained. Symphony works great for bass reinforcement, and the drum set does the incredibly hard job of emulating the drum set. So, but past that, we do all sorts of other cool things, and that's half the fun. Is how else are we going to use these instruments? Last year we did actually a version of Schubert's Earl King, and we had a choir of we had 5 people on marimbas, and then we had a large, we had one guy playing a bunch of boards. Actually, John over here arranged it, and I was going to tell you that he set that up. So,
Pop tune of the 1800s, real good. For anyone that's unfamiliar with it, it was worked by Schubert, and it was worked for solo voice, solo piano, and the vocalist had to portray 4 different characters just by the inflections and the range that he's singing. And so in order to try and transfer that onto keyboard instrument with one soloist, I had to vocalize split between 4 instruments. And our own Justin Bell's over on the drum set back there had a fun job of bouncing between 4 boards with about 2-3 beats, great performance. We had xylophone worked well for, again, the 4 characters. There was a kid, a dad, a narrator, and the Earl King, the Elf King, kind of the diabolical demon, I guess, which played really well on a glockenspiel, actually. Nice and light and playful and kind of alluring. At any rate, Earl King had on the bells, which was double stacked in front of the xylophone, was it? Yep. Which played the voice of the kid. The dad was on 5, and then since the piano part was split on actually 5 marimbas, the part of the narrator, Justin did on the marimba, which probably was the narration of things. Anyway, splitting voices between different instruments to emulate different.
Other things we've done, odd voicings. We've got a piece coming up. Unfortunately, we don't have it ready for today, but we're doing a piece this year on our concert where, surprisingly enough, an accordion line transferred very beautifully to the chimes, like low chime rolls, just things like that. We've done a piece, last year we did a piece called Stick Shifts and Safety Belts by Cake, if anybody knows it. It's sort of like a rockabilly kind of tune. It's written for upright bass, drum kit, vocal and guitar. And we did that, but we just replaced the guitar part with the xylophone part, an upright bass player. We had, a guy who's done brushes and snare drum, and we had 2 vocalists, and it worked out great. One of the coolest things we did, again, we did this on last year's concert, we did Metallica's One. We actually closed our show with that. And to simulate the intro of the song, I don't know if you know the song or not, but there's like military gunfire and helicopters landing and things like that. And we did these cool, we put, I guess, antithetical is the way to say it, snare drums. We put 2 on stage, 2 in the back of the hall. So it's kind of like it was going all around you. And then we had this really cool technique, again, Matt with his core expertise, teaching us how to land a helicopter. And so there's this technique where you can see you've got 3 timpani heads flipped upside down on top of the timpani. And we placed 1 in the back of the hall, 1 in the center of the hall, and 1 on stage. And he'll play for you what we did, but sonically, it sounded like a helicopter landed on stage. It was just amazing. And it was just, to be there, it was just, to hear that, you literally heard it come over you and just land in front, and it was just amazing. From there, other things, this is a very, we've been very, I guess, the buzzword for it would be interdisciplinary. We've had all sorts of extra people come and help us and play, and we've had singers, we've had, anywhere from a singer to a duet to actually having a full choir on stage, pretty much, actually arranged by Mr. Ray Sarver in the back of the hall there. An original member, an alumni member. He did Bohemian Rhapsody, and we had a lead singer, and we had 6 or 8 other vocalists up there for the background parts. It was awesome. And we've had, like I said, bass, upright and electric. We've had piano. We actually did Yes's Roundabout last year, and we used the built-in pipe organ, and it was that was great too. We actually had we pulled all the stops. It was full out as loud as it could go, and we still kind of overplayed them, but it was just still really cool. So we've done other things, steel drums. We spend a lot of time trying to find interesting ways to play these songs. And this next tune, we're actually going to do Disarm by the Smashing Pumpkins, and this part was originally arranged differently. We had a cello part that ended up being played on an upright bass. Now that part's on marimba. we had a vocal part that was on a second set of vibes that now actually John, who you met, is going to sing for it. So here we're going to do Disarm by Century Company.